got the time to overthink. Just try it once. He'll buy you a drink. Excuse me, would you teach me that? I'm tired of running alone with my cash. Sure. Nowadays, I do dye jobs and curls, but here's how we did it in the Laker girls. Yeah. You can do that. Let's go.
The latest show here at Rainbow Stage is, on the surface, a very fun and bubbly type of show that many audiences will already be familiar with, but the music and all of the details that go into it are actually quite difficult. Now, if you are the star of Legally Blonde the musical, you might be going and looking at this challenge and saying, what, like it's hard? The star of Legally Blonde, Claire McMaster, of Elle Woods fame, here joining us to step aside. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
So, this is obviously one of the most iconic roles
Absolutely.
of the last couple of decades. When you're taking on something like this, what are some of the considerations that you have when you first say, oh my gosh, I'm going to be Elle Woods?
Wow. Well, this is a total dream role for me. I have been chasing this role for a long time. So to actually be experiencing it and living it is an absolute dream come true. This is my Everest. Elle never leaves the stage. It is a marathon. So we trained physically, we trained vocally, we trained emotionally for this role. But what a beautiful role to be a part of. And I will say that even though I am running around belting my face off and dancing, I am supported by such incredible individuals, not only with our amazing cast, our beautiful dogs, but also our entire creative team who are working so hard to make this show the absolute marvel that it is.
Absolutely. So you mentioned that this is a dream role. What is it about the character of Elle Woods that you have been chasing for your career?
For so long.
What's the quality of Elle Woods that makes you go, oh, that is it for me.
Wow.
That is my achievement.
Oh my goodness, that's a great question. I really love the role of Elle Woods, not only because technically it's an exceptionally challenging role. Vocally, it's a huge sing. You are belting every single number. It's a massive undertaking. But I really connect with the character of Elle because I also have been underestimated. You know, I walk in the room a bubbly personality. I'm naturally blonde and, well, with some highlights.
Yeah.
And, you know, people perhaps have a certain idea about who I, Claire McMaster, am as a person. But I went to school for theater itself. I love Shakespeare. I can handle myself with classic text. And I think that's something that I really love about Elle Woods is she goes, okay, so you're underestimating me? What? Like it's hard?
Right.
Let me show you I can do this. And she achieves every goal, every dream she sets out to achieve. And that's something that I hold very close for my own self.
You mentioned the technical challenges for a role like this, all the preparations that you have to do to embody this character. What does that look like when it comes to the music that you have to share, the dance moves that you have to perform, and the text itself?
Absolutely, that's a great question. So I have assembled an incredible team to help work with me. Shout out to Matt Farnsworth, who is my voice teacher in New York. He is unbelievable. He completely changed my life. I'm honored to work with him. So I coached this role starting with one of his associates a couple of years ago. And then once I booked it here at Rainbow Stage, I started coaching once a month to sing through the entire show with him. I also coach through all of the text, so not only the the speaking scenes, but also all of the text that I speak through singing in the show with my incredible acting coach, Marianne McIsaac, and then working with a physical therapy team, a personal trainer, all the good things, because as I said before, this is a marathon.
Yes.
And so all of that comes together, and then it's just that honest to goodness belief in yourself and that go-getter energy that lets you experience this incredible show. And I will say, Alex Herzog is the most amazing director to have at the helm of this project. She inspires us all. I think she is a real life Elle Woods. And so to have her in the driver's seat has just been the best possible experience. I have never felt more supported on a project.
Wow. Oh, that's so wonderful to hear about all the people behind you to be able to make all these things happen, especially as we're heading into a back to school season for some of our listeners, and they know what kind of people are in the corner to try and make these kinds of things happen. We'll add another challenge to your performance here in that this is the first time you've been at Rainbow Stage, your first time here in Winnipeg. What are your impressions so far about performing in this very unique performance venue?
Oh my goodness. Honestly, it is a dream come true. Theaters just aren't built like this anymore. This is an iconic space and it is recognized across Canada as such. So to actually be here and look out at all of these beautiful yellow seats that are soon to be filled with many shining faces.
Very many shining faces.
I am just honestly overwhelmed with such joy. It's been amazing, and our incredible tech team has been working the hardest to make us sound, look, appear the best that we can be. And so to work in a space this large where you have that open air coming in, you have the bird song, you have, you know, all of these beautiful alive elements is really what I think the purpose of theater is for all of us to be together and experience a story together in this particular moment.
Wow. So it's very striking to listen to you talk about all of the all the teams that are behind you and behind this show, making this character come to life. There's also that balance that you were talking about before about being so self-assured. Oh yeah, you think you got me? I'm going to take this on my own. How does the character of Elle Woods and her sort of self-assuredness and her confidence get fueled by that sort of team approach that you've described as you, Claire, have been preparing the role?
My goodness, that's such a great question. I think the thing that makes Elle so special is that she comes from a place of service to others. So everything in her story is about how can I see this individual in front of me and uplift them? How can I help them become the best version of themselves? And in doing so, that brings her into different bigger rooms like Harvard, where she can help discover her own self and her own power. And so in enjoying that in the show and exploring that in the show, I have also been privy to exploring that personally with this incredible team here. And so I think those two things are working in tandem, art imitating life.
It's all right, art imitating life. There'll be obviously a lot of people out there that hope that art on the stage that they're able to imitate as well, with the self-confidence idea of Elle Woods. And obviously there'll be a lot of young women who come and see this and hopefully maybe take away that same message. What would your hope be for people who are walking away from Legally Blonde, the musical?
Well, you know what? I think at the heart of this story, it is about being underestimated for how you look or how you appear, how you seem, how you carry yourself. And that comes through in all of the characters in our show, not just Elle. And so I hope that for every person who comes to see this show, they see themselves and they go, okay, I can follow my dream, no matter how wild and scary and vulnerable that may be. If I believe in myself and I bring my best self forward, put my best self out there, then I can achieve anything that I would like to.
When I beckoned, watch how the guys came running like they're kicking, licking, like I'm hurting, wicked started. To hate the stuff I buy, make me cake and pie, and hold me when I cry. I will tell you why. I'm too rockin' to walk away. All the boys coming back away, dropping jaws from a block away. Watch me while I walk away.
So this cast for Legally Blonde is made up of a whole range of performers. That range includes people who are first-timers to the Rainbow Stage audiences and, well, literal stage, but also veterans like Julia Davis playing Vivian in this show. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Yes, thank you for talking to me.
So people will obviously remember you from previous runs of Rainbow Stage productions, most notably Frozen in the last little bit, but how would you stack this show up compared with your previous Rainbow Stage engagements?
Well, I mean, I've been so lucky to be able to be a part of these amazing productions. Like
Yeah.
Frozen, of course, was huge. That was a huge production just with like the technical side, the music, everything.
All of
But
it.
this one, honestly, I would say it's even bigger than that. And I
Wow.
didn't think it could get bigger. I really didn't. Just like in terms of like the technical stuff and the music and the quick changes, everything. It's like it's huge. And it's going to be lots of fun.
So obviously, well, you know what? Not obviously, I'm not going to assume,
Okay.
but I'm guessing that you are familiar with Legally Blonde's story,
Yeah.
etc. Before you jumped onto Rainbow
You
Stage.
know what? You know what's funny is I actually did a production with M2IP with their teen musical theater company 10 years ago.
Whoa.
I guess
Come
that like
on.
ages me, but like
This is coming back around full circle.
10 years ago with the teen company at M2IP, I played Brooke.
Okay, so now stepping in for
Yeah.
Vivian,
Yeah.
and what is it about this iteration of the story of Legally Blonde that you think, oh wow, this is something that if you just watched the movie, if you just kind of had a
Yep.
peripheral interaction with the story, you're going, I never would have pulled that element out of Legally Blonde. What's something about the musical that adds a new dimension to the story?
Oh, it's just like something about the musical that adds something that the movie doesn't. I don't know, it's just like, of course the movie is joyful and the movie is fun, but there's just something so fun about seeing it happen like right in front of your eyes. The music is so fun, like it kind of has that like early 2000s kind of vibe to it, and a time that like, I don't know, like I definitely feel nostalgic for that time, and I don't know, maybe that ages me again.
Sure.
but-
Well, sure. All right, on. So we're getting that sort of Xtina,
Yeah.
Britney Spears sort of
Absolutely.
quality to this
Absolutely.
music. What are some of the challenges of approaching a show like this, where that's a very sort of specific approach? Not to mention the fact that this show runs a whole range of genres, from
Yeah.
rock. There's a little bit of gospel. There's hip hop.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges of bringing that kind of aesthetic to life musically, on top of the acting challenges that come with something like this?
Yeah, well, you said it. Like, there's truly every single genre, like in this show, and yeah, it kind of all just kind of flows together. It's a very well written musical. I will
Okay.
say. I think people think like Legally Blonde, and they think, oh, it's just like fluffy and fun, but there is some beautiful, well written music that I love to sing. The harmonies, like it is something that kind of like surprised me when we were learning it, and I was like, oh, this is some kind of crazy harmony here. This is like a little bit hard, but
Perfect.
but I mean, we've been working really hard, and it's going to be really fun, I think.
It is going to be really fun, not to mention the fact that you have to balance the amount of fun that a show like this provides with having this kind of like more intense than maybe you bargain for music, or
Yeah.
an audience bargains for, certainly. How does that balance come into play as you're preparing for something like this?
Yeah.
That fun versus, wow, this is a demanding production.
Absolutely. I mean, this is my first time playing a role that's like, well, I think every role's been a bit out of my comfort zone, of course. It's, it's always hard to step into a role that you've never done before, but like, this is the first like, kind of like evil, mean role that I've done before. So that's been a new challenge. That's been lots of fun. And it's like the hardest thing in the world ever to be mean to Claire McMaster, the sweetest girl on the planet Earth. But I mean, we all, make it fun. I'll give her a hug after every single show.
Okay, good.
But, like,
very good.
Yes.
As long as we got the hugs, it's all fine.
I know.
But you mentioned Claire McMaster playing
Yes.
Elle Woods in
Yes.
this show, first timer
Yes.
to Rainbow Stage.
Yes.
What sorts of advice or words of encouragement do you and your fellow Rainbow Stage veterans offer to someone like that who's in this environment for the very first time?
Just like, honestly, it's going to sound a little cheesy, but just like enjoy it. Like being at Rainbow Stage in the summer is like the closest I've felt to like being at summer camp with all my friends. Like a very difficult
Yeah.
and demanding summer camp in a good way. In a good way, But like we're all outside. We're making people happy. Like people come to the stage to, be happy.
One of the new things that people might be encountering with Legally Blonde the musical is, in fact, its musical elements. And the person to break them down for us, fittingly, is the music director for the latest show here at Rainbow Stage. Renata Tavis, thank you so much for taking the time.
Of course, my pleasure.
So, people obviously are familiar, lots of people are going to be familiar with the story, the movie version of this. How does the music of Legally Blonde, the musical, help to enhance that story?
What I love about the show is it kind of has all different styles, ranging from gospel to pop to rock to some classical elements as well. And the music, the way that it's written, it tells the story of particular characters, of locations, and we get leitmotifs throughout the show as well.
Look at you using a classic 107 word like leitmotifs.
That's my background.
Yes, indeed. Very good.
So I'm always really excited when a story is told through thematic material in the music, not just in the text or in the staging. It really is a cohesive piece, and I think it's a very clever and very well-written show.
Okay, so then we're looking for these themes, these leitmotifs, throughout the show. How would you describe the ways that those leitmotifs, those themes, enhance these characters that people might know from the films?
So Elle, for instance, she's our big character in the show, and she goes through quite the journey of self-discovery. And at first, her reason for going to law school is to follow her beloved Warner, and she gets a big "I Want" song in the style of Disney.
All right.
It's a very commonly used term, and that "I Want" music follows her throughout the show, but her motivation changes. And so it's really neat to see how, new text is set to it, and it's underscoring her transformation as well.
Right, because obviously we're going from following beloved to I'm on my own journey now. I'm doing my own thing. So with that, I wonder, as you're navigating all these different themes, all these different genres that are contained that you mentioned, what are some of the challenges for preparing a show like that where the performers, yourself included, have to have such a range to cover?
Absolutely. Well, every character has different demands, and this is a very belty show. So in my preparation, I actually took some voice lessons.
No kidding.
And learned how to do a little bit of belting myself, which was really, really a lot of fun.
Sure.
And Kelly Robinson was there to help me with that, which shout out to her. She was fabulous.
Frequent guest on the station. Very good.
And yeah, it's really neat because a lot of it is speech singy, but then a lot of it is very legit. And then we got everything in between. So just getting more familiar with like the diction and how we can use the words in different ways, like because a lot of it is very colloquial. There's some rapping in this show as well. So just how do we make that translate in such a huge space like Rainbow Stage?
Sure.
And also how do we kind of change our vowel sounds to fit that, and like you wouldn't say hot, you'd say hot. Stuff like that, something like that.
Right. So within all of that analysis, all that preparation, of course, people don't come to see the preparation. They come for the fun. They come for the
100%.
pink. They come for the sheer joy of rom-com turned musical.
100%.
And how then do you navigate through the rehearsal process to then take those elements that you just talked about, all that work, all that diction, all your own singing preparation, and then how do you turn that into the joy and the pure fun that is the story of Legally Blonde?
Well, throughout the rehearsal process, like this cast has worked so hard, and then of course when you get to the stage, you just want to let it go and enjoy being on stage itself. What really helps us is our fantastic orchestra who are now in place, and Rainbow Stage has a 13-piece full complement orchestra for the show, and we have live brass, live strings, live woodwinds, so that just kind of amplifies everything along with the drums and just all the keyboard work that goes into filling in the rest of the orchestration. And it's just like another level.
So audiences are going to be here expecting, as we mentioned at the beginning, to see something of a familiar story. What do you think, or rather what do you hope audiences take away from Legally Blonde the musical that maybe adds a new dimension to this story?
That's a great question. I think what makes this so successful as a musical is the addition of magical realism in a few characters that are Elle's best friends, and they are a lot of fun. They do a lot of work on stage, and they're constantly dancing and singing in their scenes. And then in general, I just think this show is one of self-discovery and how one person can bring out the best in everybody. And I think that's a really important message.
Absolutely, it is. And as if we needed one more reason to come see Legally Blonde, the musical. We'll have more details, of course, classic107.com and the Classic 107 app. Renata Tavis, it's been a real treat getting to know more about the music and this show through you. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much.